Let's bring in Jason Priestley, former 90210 actor, critically acclaimed and award-winning Call Me Fitz will launch Season 4 on DirecTV's audience channel 239 on Wednesday, October 9th at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Jason, we have unconfirmed reports that the reason you delayed this interview is because you were intimidated by Ian Ziering's interview an hour ago.
I'm always intimidated by Ian Ziering, especially after he appeared in Chippendales last month. That was intimidating.
Would you ever appear in Chippendales?
Let me think about that for a second. No.
Have you ever been asked to appear in Chippendales?
No.
Would you appear on Sharknado?
Yes.
You would. Let's back this up here a second. How did you feel about Ian Ziering's performance in Sharknado? In full disclosure, I have not actually witnessed the Sharknado yet. Oh, man. Are you waiting for it to come out on DVD?
I am. Blu-ray.
Blu-ray. You know, it's repeating basically every hour on the hour on Sci-Fi.
Yes, I imagine that it is. It's created quite the storm, the media storm, as it were.
If asked, would you appear in Sharknado 2?
Yeah. You know what? Yes, I would. I mean, look. To be perfectly honest, it's kind of my fault that Ian did it in the first place. He and I were out for lunch here in Los Angeles, and he told me, he said, yeah, I was asking what was going on with in his career, and he said, oh man, you know, like the Sci-Fi's offered me this movie, this thing called Sharknado, about this tornado of sharks that comes, you know, there's this freak storm in L.A. and it sucks up all the sharks out of the ocean and it starts raining sharks in L.A. And I said, oh my God, Z, that sounds awesome. and he said, what do you mean? And I had just finished directing a movie up in Sudbury, Ontario, and I watched a marathon of all of these shark movies they did on Sci-Fi, like Malibu Shark Attack and Octo Shark and all of the, you know, all those movies, and they're awesome because they're like grindhouse B sci-fi movies, right? And I don't know. I thought it sounded kind of awesome. Turns out it is, and it's been it's been really fun for him, I think.
He's Jason Priestley, star of Call Me Fitz, appearing on the Audience Network, channel 239 on Wednesday, October 9th at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Jason, your character in Call Me Fitz is pretty much the exact opposite of Brandon Walsh. Was this by design? I mean, for people to give some context, to me, it's more like a Charlie Sheen type character where Brandon was the wholesome character. Was this chosen by design?
Ish. Yes. I mean, I was, I'd be lying if I gave you a flat out no. I mean, I was looking for a show. I was looking for a show that I was number one on the call sheet again, that I could carry. Mm-hmm. And when this one came across my desk, I was enthralled by the opportunity to play a character that was so far removed from the one that most people connected me with. And Fitz is definitely the antithesis of Brandon Walsh, which is incredibly refreshing for me to have the opportunity to play.
Which character is more closely Jason Priestley?
Well, you know, it's funny. When I was younger and I was playing Brandon Walsh, I was much more like Richard Fitzpatrick. And now that I'm older and I'm a dad, and I'm much more like Brandon Walsh.
You were a player back in the day, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
Big time.
Yes, I was. Don't get it twisted. if you were young and handsome like me back then, you would have been Richard Fitzpatrick too.
Absolutely. I envy you in that popularity. When Ian was talking about the popularity of 90210 at its peak, how wild it was. How wild was it for you guys when you went on the road?
It was pretty wild. It was. I mean, you know what? It could be it was as wild as you wanted it to be. It was all there for the taking. Seriously. All
right, I've got a list, Jason, of things I always wanted to ask Jason Priestley, but never thought I'd actually get the chance to do it. The first question for you is: you sported a mullet in your first few episodes of 90210. Whose decision was it to lose it?
It was my decision. It was my decision, and our executive producer Chuck Rosen I actually got called up on the carpet for it because he was upset that he didn't get to write a whole episode around it. He said to me, "What are you doing? Why you can't just cut your hair? I should have wrote a whole episode around that. Come on." It's pretty good.
Shannon Doherty, friend or foe?
She's a friend when I see her.
Always been?
Which isn't very often, but you know.
How much hair product do you need on a daily basis?
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
3 fingers.
How much was it?
3 fingers.
3 fingers.
Like 2 fingers of scotch, 3 fingers of hair product.
Episode of 90210 you don't forget.
Donna Martin masturbates. Graduates. Sorry.
Nice. Why did you not appear in the series finale?
Because I was in London doing a play in the West End with Edie Falco. Good reason. Why were you asked to be part of the new 90210? Yes, I was.
And you turned it down because?
Because I just didn't think it was necessary for Brandon Walsh to be on that show. They couldn't give me a valid reason.
You can just say it was stupid.
Well, okay, it was also stupid.
Brandon Walsh's love interest you have been most attracted to in real life?
Oh, wow. Well, that would be Emily Valentine. Because
I did
actually live with her for 5 years.
That's true. I forgot about that. Finally, was it weird kissing Gabrielle Cateris when she was something like 20 years older than you?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Hey, man, younger man, bolder woman. What can you say?
Well, Jason, I appreciate you coming on the show. Call Me Fitz will launch Season 4 on DirecTV's Audience Channel 239 on Wednesday, October 9th at 10 p.m. Eastern Pacific. Really appreciate the time, Jason.
You got it, Chris. My pleasure.
That's Jason Priestley, 90210 actor and Call Me Fitz star.